start today's video by mentioning a news that if you are here on my platforms, here on my channel, also in the recent months here on YouTube, you know that Chelsea are working on one of the best wonder kids since long time. It's already since November, October when Chelsea started the concrete contacts for Estêvão Willian, this Brazilian winger who was born in 2007 and is considered one of the best talents in the world, not just in South America. Left-footed, special talent, considered a really big one. Imagine that the manager of Palmeiras, Abel, said in press conference he never saw any other player like him at that age. Incredible talent. This is how they all rate this boy. And what we can say now is that Chelsea have reached an agreement with Willian Estêvão and his agents on the contract. So salary, project, everything is ready between Chelsea and Willian Estêvão. Now Chelsea have and want to close the deal with Palmeiras. Conversations are ongoing between Chelsea and Palmeiras, waiting to send an official bid. My understanding is that Chelsea initial proposal will be 32 million euros plus add-ons. What I'm hearing, I'm giving you this exclusive detail, is that the add-ons structure could be over the value of the release clause. The release clause of Willian Estêvão in the new contract he did at Palmeiras is 55 million euros. Chelsea prefer to pay some millions more, but with different payment terms and also with the advantage of closing the deal as soon as possible.
Big news there for Chelsea fans. One of the hottest young talents in football. You can tell how good the talent and the ability must be to have a 55 million euro buyout clause at the age of 16, Chelsea reaching a full and frank agreement with the player and his agents, submitting a bid, doing something potentially very similar to Enzo Fernandez, where they may pay above the buyout clause, but do it with add-ons. Therefore, the current club, the seller, the vendor will get more money than the buyout clause. It helps Chelsea spread their cost over a prolonged period of time, but potentially signing one of the best young talents on the market. Chelsea fans, how do you feel about this? I know there's a big call for Chelsea to focus on experienced players ready to go now to help this squad, but I do think there is still space for a club to invest in youth, if youth is as talented as this. Now, my understanding is this won't even impact FFP and the like, because investment in youth is something that you can take away. It's a loss that doesn't count towards FFP and profit and sustainability, especially if he's put into your academy when you sign him at 16 as opposed to your first team. But I want to get your thoughts and I want to get your feelings on that in the comments section below. Today we are sponsored again by our friends at Match Bingo. It is the premier game to play during EPL Premier League matches. All you have to do is get a bingo card. You download the app, you get a bingo card for whatever Premier League game you want, and you sit back and relax and you wait for the events to come in, just like bingo. And if you're the first person to get a line, you win some money. If you're the first person to get 2 lines, you win some money. If you're the first person to get the full house, you win the jackpot. It is so simple. It is so easy. You do have to be over the age of 18 and live and reside in the UK. That is where Match Bingo is available. But get it downloaded. It is an astonishingly good game to play. Now, moving to North London, this is an interesting one for me. We know Arsenal have got money. 2 years in the Champions League. A lot of their debt has now gone from the stadium. They've spent big. And there's a lot of talk and a lot of rumors about Frankie de Jongs and Zubamendi's and Alexander Isaks. And I think they are all very tangible, very credible stories of players that Arsenal are linked to. But there's a story that's picking up pace coming out of Barcelona, and I think this has to be a focus. I think this has to be a focus for Arsenal, that Barcelona have put Raphinha on the transfer market. Now, Raphinha was a player that Arsenal were desperate to sign. I want to say it was 3 years ago. It would have been 2 years ago. It would have been the summer of 2002, so 2 years ago. Didn't quite materialize. Barcelona got him. I remember Chelsea and Chelsea and Arsenal in for him. It didn't quite happen. Still only 27 years of age, so experienced. He's been a couple of years in the league. He's now played in the Champions League. I think this could be a perfect supplementary signing for Arsenal on that right-hand side. Somebody that can come in and can either play backup and or challenge Bukayo Saka. They say steel sharpens steel, very much along those lines. As a Man United fan, our right-hand side needs some serious work. I would love for this to happen. The problem is, I think at 27 years of age, the next move that Raphinha has to be at a club that's competing, has to be at a club that's in a good position now. I don't think, listen, I'd love us to sign him. I'd love us to go in for him. But I think he needs to go to a team that's winning or close to winning right now. And this should be a player, in my opinion, that Arsenal are all over, that Arsenal are heavily focused on, that Arsenal are pushing very hard for. That's my view and opinion on this. I'd love to get Gooners. I'd love to get your views on, would you like, because there's talks of the Saudi clubs coming in for him and willing to pay 80 million euros. Now, maybe Raphinha's up for the money, up for going to Saudi and semi-retiring. But surely there's still some miles left in these legs. We saw how good he was for Leeds United in the Premier League. He's done well at Barcelona. But I feel as though in a team like Arsenal that is so well drilled, so well put together, he could be dynamite for you. But I'd love to get your views and opinions below. Now, there's lots of interesting deals that are going on related to Man United. One of the most important is getting Dan Ashworth through the door. Now, this last decade has highlighted to the world the importance of top quality sporting or footballing directors. As a Man United fan, we spent 25 plus years not worrying or thinking about these roles, even when other clubs were making them famous, because we had an old school manager who ran the club from top to bottom, inside out, the greatest to ever do it. But football has evolved, and the current managers, stroke head coaches, are not trained, are not developed to run football clubs. I think we can all agree on that. Dan Ashworth has an excellent CV, an astounding pedigree, great relationships within football, and is someone that I'm excited about Manchester United bringing in. Of course, it's been a long and hard journey to get him away from Newcastle, who are, of course, and rightfully frustrated that somebody they have invested in for their project of trying to get them to the top is being taken away so early. But getting him through the door, I think, is really going to help to firm a lot of areas up. A lot of people are frustrated that there hasn't been enough change at Man United since Ineos got in, and I understand that logic and that train of thought. But I don't think we can start making too many big decisions until we actually have our board, until we have our football decision makers in place. Otherwise, you could go down the road of Todd Boehly and co, where non-football people are making big football decisions, and it can set you back in terms of your direction. So I'd love to get your views, and I'd love to get your opinions on Ashworth being close to United. This other story I wanted to touch on as well, because Everton value Branthwaite at 80 million, and the defender is linked to Man United and Spurs. And I keep seeing his name linked to Manchester United. And I don't want to come across as disrespectful to Branthwaite. I don't want to come across as dismissive in any capacity. But something about this £80 million linked deal gives me Maguire vibes. Gives me the vibe of good player, but not £80 million worth. Good player, but is he going to handle a price tag of that level that would make him one of the most expensive defenders in the history of football at the beginning of what is going to be a very long and winding road where many trials and tribulations will be faced in rebuilding Man United? Something about this deal doesn't strike me with confidence. And it could just be the element of once bitten, twice shy. It could be because I've seen my clubs hurt me so many times in the past. I feel as though this deal could do the very same thing. I've watched him have many good games. I think there's a talented player in there. I'm just not sure if £80 million would be a sensible thing for Man United to do at this point. You may disagree. You may see him as an absolute future star of the Premier League, in the same way that people, I mean, it's actually the same club as well, the same way people viewed John Stones all those years ago. 21 years of age, will turn 22 in the summer. Looking at his career, look, 112 games so far, some of that on loan, some of that at Everton. I don't know. I'm trying to be respectful, but maybe it's just PTSD. Maybe it's just the history of Man United and these signings. I could be very wrong. I want to get your views and opinions below. Until next time, take care, goodbye, God bless, and we'll see you all again soon. Peace.